Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Vrushali Barbare. I am the founder of Kids, which is a 15-year-old bookstore for children in Pune. And I am also the founder of Kathashtakam Global Storytellers Collective, which is the community of storytellers, authors, and we have wonderful people on board with education. I was working in IT industry for say 10 years. After that, I started working with children when I completed my master's in social work. And since then, last 20 years, I have been working with children, with reading clubs, with book events and everything. We have also published 3 anthologies under Kathashtakam Global Storytellers Collective. And yesterday we had a really blast, a wonderful event at Kalagoda Festival, where we launched our 3rd anthology at Kalagoda Festival. So to start with, I'm going to ask a question to you. Which is the first story that you remember that you had heard or listened to or read in your childhood? Do you remember the story? Anyone? Quickly, chat box me up. You can just fill the chat box with the names.
Oh, we can.
Any one story. Maybe your grandma had told you. Maybe you have read it somewhere.
Should we write it in the chat section or we should say it out
Yes,
loud?
in the chat box.
In the chat.
No, in the chat box.
Okay.
In the chat box. Yes. Priyanka, your father had created a story. Yes. Do you remember the name of the story? Yes, Thirsty Crow. I can see wonderful story names here now. Thirsty Crow. Shraddha is saying. Come on, everyone. Let's get going. Let's go to that story space where we are talking about, thinking about living those stories. Yes, Thirsty Crow again. Any one story. We are all storytellers here. There shouldn't be a problem mentioning one story. Krishna stories, yes. Lovely, lovely. Wonderful. Now let me begin my presentation here and let us dive. So today we are going to time travel to historical places, time travel to some events in the past, some significant ones, some tiny ones, maybe personal, maybe big events in history which are documented. So we are going to map stories through our imagination, some facts, and some tadka of linguistic flavors. What was there before history books, before calendar, before languages? Any answers? You can just say it aloud now. I want this workshop to be really interactive. Otherwise, this workshop is not going to do its job.
Pictures, paintings and pictures.
Yes, pictures.
Cave paintings.
Cave painting, yes. What else? What was their painting? What was it all about?
Stories around the fire.
Stories,
Yes.
animals.
Correct. So whatever
Different
the
elements from
humans,
nature.
yes, right. Whatever the early humans saw, they just painted the way they could. And those are the stories. That is how the history was documented on the stones, maybe on leaves, or maybe whatever they could find, and just document it the way they could. And that was the birth of the word story. Do you agree with me? Say yes or no, whatever, loudly.
Yes.
Yes. Now, close your eyes. This is something that I'm going to really take you somewhere. So close your eyes. All of you, please close your eyes. Now, imagine that you have traveled back Your eyes closed. Just forget where you're sitting. Forget your present. Forget your surroundings. Now you're getting transported back in history, in time. You are in that time machine, which is taking you backwards in history. Where are you? Can you see something around? Can you feel something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, the
Can you
human
touch something?
evolution that comes across when you going back to time.
Mhm.
The invention of fire using stones.
Okay. What else can you see? Can you see people?
Yes.
Keep your eyes closed, all of you. Please.
Evolution of a human being, walking around looking for food, and then they wake or crossing the forest looking for
Okay.
something.
So who are you? Who are you there?
I'm just a
in that
curious,
era?
maybe one of the curious person following to see what was going to happen.
Mhm. Mhm. Can you touch the mountains or the caves or the paintings that we saw just now? Can you feel that?
Yeah,
Can you
I
feel
can
that?
feel the trees, the trunk of the trees touching and moving around.
How does it feel?
It feels like hard and soft, like the real reality of life.
Can you smell something?
Fresh air without any pollution.
Maybe some rain.
Yeah,
The
the
leaf,
soft wind, the breeze. Yeah.
Can you hear something?
the gentle breeze between among the leaves, or the birds chirping.
Any other sounds?
Birds chirping.
Far free flowing water, the sound of those water traveling down.
Lovely.
Sounds of animals.
Okay. Okay. Now, open your eyes and hold that thought till the end of this workshop. Okay? Whatever the picture you have created for yourself from your imagination, we just traveled back in time. Just hold that picture in your brain till the end of this workshop.
Done.
Now, we are going to use the stories as time machines. So when we come to stories, when we create stories, mapping is something which it's a very important process. Okay. So and when it comes to history, it is very delicate because you don't want to have total fiction there.
Right.
We have to have some facts in place, and then we have to build something on it. So this is a roadmap. This is the process where we start with some real data, facts. And where do you get your real data or facts from? Where can you get your real data or facts, historical facts?
From books.
Books,
Encyclopedia.
research-based books, research-based book or case studies or
Correct.
archaeology.
Anything else?
Grandmothers and grandparents.
Books, definitely. There is internet again. Journals.
The place, actually the places where,
Yes.
these.
That's right. That's right. You visit those places and then
Right.
talk to experts, right?
Yeah.
I personally remember talking to one of the historians here in Pune, who was called Baba Saheb Purandare. He had documented the Shivaji Maharaj history in such a powerful way that, it is incomparable. Then there was some other book, which is a fiction, of course, called Swami, which is based on Peshwas. A masterpiece in historical fiction. But the process was the same. It was based on real data. And then they put some imagination in it. They traveled back in time. They felt what the characters were feeling. Their stress, their happiness, their sadness, their love. And that's when empathy comes. Every storyteller, I think empathy is the key element where every storyteller needs to have. So you have to put yourself into that character's shoes. So if it is Bajirao, you should understand the struggle that he's facing. If you're Shivaji Maharaj, you should know how you should be feeling what he must have felt that time. The anger, the pride. And then comes plots and characters. So you have to zero in on what exactly is the plot, because the history is huge. It's as old as time. So what exactly is your plot? And you have to really work on it and zero down to a single plot of your story, where the story is quite clear about what you are going to tell the story and the characters. And then add some linguistic appeal. It all depends upon the readers or the audience that you are catering to. So which language? What kind of language? Is it English? Is it Hindi? Is it any other regional language? So you have to add that tadka of linguistic appeal and the story comes alive. This you must be knowing. This is a very basic thing. These are the basic elements of a story. What is the goal of your story? What is the story all about? Then who are the characters? How do they behave? How is their personality? What do they wear? How do they speak to each other? What is their their relationship with each other? What are the dynamics? Then the setting, which is very important, because that is how you really set the tone of the story. Where does the story take place? Details of those stories. I had read one wonderful book where these settings were so crisp and clear and so detailed. It really transported me to 1960s United States. The name of the book was The Fountainhead, and I couldn't really get over it. The book was so beautiful because the writer or the author has narrated it in a different way. The setting was explained so beautifully that I was there in that particular city of Chicago with the author. Then there's the problem. What exactly is the problem? The main character is going to solve some problem. What exactly it is? Then, of course, how the conflict is resolved. Again, the whole story needs to be, either it has to have one angle with which the story is told. It can be of the villain of the story. It can be of the protagonist of the story, or it can be somebody else. But it has to be really clear what is the point of view in that story. Then comes the tone or the mood. So how do you want to tell the story? The same story can be told in a happy way, in a sad way, in an inspirational way, or in a very funny way. Then comes the climax. The key point, the peak point of the story, the decision maker of the story. And once that climax is over, the ending. Now, how do you want to go about that ending as well? Do you want to be really impactful? Or do you want to have it a logical ending of whatever has happened in the story? Do you want to sum up everything? Or you want to leave the audience or the readers with a thought? Just keep it floating. Let them end the story the way they want to. It all depends upon you. So when we come to history, as I said, it is not a straight away fiction. Mapping stories, mapping historical fiction, it is based on facts. And just as we answered, the facts are we can take from scientific research, reading journals, visiting historical places, talking to experts. While fiction is everywhere. You read books, you read stories, you listen to stories, we watch movies and plays as well. So can you tell me one movie which is based on historical events, which is total fiction? And just talk to me instead of keeping it in chat. Which is the movie which which is very important, impactful that you have watched recently? Historical fiction.
The movie on the Shambhaji.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, because that was
Chava.
very impactful. Yeah. I forgot the name of the movie.
Chava, yes.
Chava, yeah. Because
Yes.
that really showed history and it was very well portrayed. And there are many, World War movies which are historical. In English, there are many of them, which I think is very, very impactful.
Life is Beautiful is something that I remembered right now. Just now,
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
It's a beautiful movie. War
Yes.
movie.
Casablanca.
One of the movies that I saw recently was Pune, which is on Jyoti Rao by Phule and Savitribai Phule.
It was a biopic.
Yeah, it was a biopic. Yeah, it was also very impactful.
Right. So what do you think created the impact? Any three things that you think, make that particular movie or a book or a story, which is, which creates that impact for us?
Research, the research that goes behind it.
What else?
The reality check than giving fake information. And maybe the involvement of case studies, going through those facts that ground reality check sometimes, at times also.
Okay.
I was actually going to add dramatization.
Exactly.
So,
Yes.
to make it exciting or, yes, facts and based on facts and research, but making it an exciting story it's
Correct.
not a report, but a story.
Exactly.
Adding some elements of fun and other entertaining things so that, people understand it than feeling bored, they learn through fun.
Yeah.
The
That's right.
location is very important again. Because when you talk about historical fact, to bring about, the location to make it look at that era, I think that is something which again is a very important element in the story.
Right. So do you mean to say setting of that story?
Setting.
Correct.
Then of course the language.
Yes.
Very important. The language.
Correct. So I think that is where, I took you to the mapping process. And do you now realize that all these elements were added to any impactful book or story or a movie? Do you agree with me? Say
Absolutely.
yes if you agree.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to tell you 3 to 4 mapping techniques. Okay, these are all very common ones. So basically, we have to ask 5 W's. That is the mind map of a story. What is it about? What is the goal of the story? Who are the characters? When did it take place? And where did it happen? And why did it happen? Once the 5 W's are clear, we dive deep into that story and develop each of these boxes. Like characters, conflict, resolution, setting, important events. What is the theme of the story? This is a mountain map. Generally, there are different types of story maps. This is the mountain map, where we start with one event, then some inciting incident happens, and there's some action in the story. The action is rising action, something is happening, and there's the climax. Once that climax is over, there's a falling action, and there's a natural, logical resolution of the conflict or the climax. And that is what the story is all about. This is an example of a story that comes to my mind, and I have just, segregated the story parts in these 6 different parts, subparts. This is an example. If we want to go back in time and document or write a story about freedom struggle, we have to make a map of the facts. What happened? When did it happen? How did it happen? And I think these kind of stories are full of, we can write a whole book on each and every part of this particular mind map. There can be one book on 1857 Sipahi Withdrawal. There can be another book on 1920 Asahयोग Andolan. Now we have to have clarity whether you want to go holistically or you want to dive deep. Now, remember the exercise that we did initially?
Yes.
Do you have that picture in your mind?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you have a paper
Yes.
or pen or maybe a laptop or iPad with you? Okay. Now, again, I want you to close your eyes. Now that we have gone through the story mapping process, I want you to use those learnings while imagining yourself into that era. Imagine that you have traveled back in time. And now you don't answer. You don't tell me in chat box. You don't tell me, don't reply to me. You just imagine. Where are you? What are you wearing? Who are you in that era? What do you see around? What are people wearing? Which city is this? Which place is this? How do you feel? Is it cold? Is it warm? Is it snowing or raining? Is it a jungle? Is it a desert? Is it a seaside? A mountain maybe? Can you smell something? What do you smell? Is there any kind of cooking around? Are they cooking any food? Is it delicious? Is there any dance or music playing around? What kind of music is it? Can you touch the trees? Can you touch the walls? Can you open that door? The huge door that you might be seeing? Now you have arrived in a different timeline. Take that paper, take that pen, take that iPad. And start writing. I want you to write whatever you just saw through your imagination and start writing the story. And if you think that you need some help with your writing, you can talk to me. We all can help each other writing it. First, write down which era are you in. What do you see around? You can use any of the mapping techniques that I just showed you. Start with a mapping technique, a story map, and then start writing the story. It can be a simple mind map, hand drawn.
You want a detailed story or just the mapping of the story?
Start with the mapping first.
Okay.
And I would love to hear your stories at the end.
Oops, okay.
And you have got
is it
5 minutes to map the story.
Slide once more, Vrushali? Is it possible to just show us that slide where you had that mapping?
Sure. This one?
No, you had where they had the setting and I think it's number 8.
This one?
Yeah. Is it that or the era? No, that earlier one only, I think. That, what, who, when?
So once you're clear with what is the story about, then you can move to the setting part. When did it take place? Was it in 1950, 1870, or maybe early human history? Or maybe a recent one? Maybe Operation Sindoor? Maybe World War II?
It can be a
Where
personal
does it
story
take
too,
place?
right?
Pardon me?
It can be a personal story too.
Yes, it can be a personal story too. Feel free to write whatever comes to your mind, wherever that time machine has taken you.
Yeah.
Because your imagination is your superpower, you know.
Right.
When did it take place? Where did it take place? So did it take place in India? Maybe in Canada or the US? Maybe Vietnam? Maybe in Australia? Maybe African rainforests? You can go anywhere with your story. That's the beauty of stories. Then why did it happen? What is the problem in the story that you as a protagonist trying to solve? Who are there in the story? Who are the characters in the story? Are there animals? Maybe some creatures, weird creatures, beautiful creatures, some mermaids maybe. Are the trees talking in your story? Are there humans going to space in your story? Is the story about space race? Are there aliens in your story? What do they look like? What are they wearing? What is their personality like? Are they very happy? Happy-go-lucky person? A serious one? A leader? What is the tone of your story? How do you want to approach your story? Do you want to make it a funny story, an inspirational one? Or a sad story? Or maybe mix of everything? Let me know once your map is done. Raise your hand once you have completed your story map. Yes, Manjari. Would you like to share what you have worked on? Would you like to show it to us? Or maybe just
I'll just
speak about it?
speak about it.
Okay.
So I went back to my childhood. It was, I would say, 1970. And we used to have a house in we used to have, my grandfather used to own a bungalow in Lonavala. So
Okay.
we were living in Bombay. My aunts and all were living in, we were living in Pune, and my aunts were living with my cousins in Bombay, and we used to all gather there. And I have such good, pleasant memories of the time, my childhood, when we used to take our cycles and go cycling towards the hills. And it used to be, what I remember is the peace and the quiet and the chirping of the birds, no traffic sounds, no construction sounds, and just carefree living. And also, there used to be some lovely lychees on the trees. So somebody, gardener would pluck it. And it used to be such a pleasant memory that I just immediately remembered that when you said to go back to some time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So
Yeah.
Manjari, could you just put it in this format, any of the formats that I showed you?
Yes.
So what is it about?
So it's a childhood story, and it's about carefree living when you are children, when there are adults to just take decisions, and you don't really have to bother about day to day.
Right.
Yeah.
Who are the characters in your story?
Characters are my family members, and probably also gardener who helps tending the gardens because they are so beautiful. Yeah.
Okay. So, is there any plot or is there conflict in the story?
So it is, I would say, just day to day highs and lows. The highs were maybe
Okay.
going into the garden and playing Lagori, very, what do you say, Indian game,
Okay.
Indian subcontinental game, and the lows were just when we used to lose that. My grandmother used to play a card game called Bizik with us. When we lost in that card game,
Okay.
nothing more than that, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it's a kind of memoir that you're writing.
Yeah. First, just yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful, Manjari. I
Yeah.
would love if you could just elaborate and write down in detail the story in your imagination.
Okay. I will do that. Thank you, Vrushali.
Thank you. Thank you, Manjari. Yes, Shaila.
Yeah. So I've written the 5 Ws.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So when we say what, this is an adventure up the hills. Okay. And the year was around 1970 when I was just about 10, 11 years old, a summer vacation. And it was the who was my friends, who were my neighbors, and I. And we had decided this summer vacation. We lived at the foot of the hills. So, but we never dared climb up the hills right out on top. We used to go somewhere midpoint where there was a little stream. But that summer vacation, some of us decided let's take the chance and climb the complete hills. And actually, if you cross 2 hills and go down, there used to be a village by the sea. It sounds like an Desai's book, but it was not. A village by the sea. And so we decided to go down the hill to that village. And it was just the reason being we just wanted to explore something new. Otherwise, every summer you're just playing in the park in the sun. So you said how boring just in the colony. So let's go up the hill. So we went up one summer vacation. The first time we did this, and being children, it's not that we worry about carrying this that. So all of us shorts, t-shirts, and those days we did not have these fancy shoes of Nike or Adidas. It was what you call the school canvas shoes, the kids. So we just all wore that with some change in our pockets, and we trekked up that hill, and we went down to that village, played in the sea water. We had good fun, and then we decided it was high time we came back. And it was the best part those days was our parents were not really worried that we went, and we never had to have parents, organizing a trip for us. We did it all ourselves. I mean, it was that safe actually. When you're talking of safe social space, we were really safe. And we went up there, we played, then we started back. And when we started back, we reached the top of the second hill, and we still had to come over onto the first hill to get down. It grew dark. And then, yeah. And then
So
we
that is the
couldn't.
conflict.
That was the conflict. Now, what do we do? So it was scary. And I think there was one boy called Salim and his brother Latif, and I must have been the oldest. We must have been about 11 years old. All the others were 9 and 8. So obviously, the 9 and the 8 started crying, and we were also ready to cry because we were not grown ups. But then we had to decide what do we do? We had to come back
What
home.
was the decision that the main
Yes.
character of the story
The main
took
character was
to
three of
resolve the
us.
conflict?
So first and foremost, we got angry with the little ones and we told them to shut up and not to shout and cry. And then the next hill actually had a road coming down from the lighthouse. So there was a lighthouse on that hill, and there was a road that went down to the to the lower levels. So we said, okay, we will not take the hill and climb down because we wouldn't know where we are stepping on. So we couldn't see the kacha path down the hill. So we said we'll walk down the road. So that's how we all held hands and walked down,
The road.
taking down the road. And it was not a small walk. because you're up on the hill and we still had to come down. So we started walking with these little ones crying, and you think I didn't want to cry. I was so scared. I also wanted to cry, but I dare not cry. So so I suppose at that time itself, I had this thing of taking on responsibility. So we somehow came nearly halfway through, and then we could see headlights at the behind us. And we were so fortunate. It was the lighthouse staff coming back downhill in their jeep, and they saw this gang of children with no adults. So they stopped, and we were always told never climb onto vehicles who people you don't know. So
Never
now
talk to strangers.
now, and not only strangers, but to get onto the vehicle. So then, what do we do? What do we do? So that was the next conflict. Do we get onto the jeep or we just walk on? So, but then the little one said, no, we can't walk anymore. So then the jeep driver, he was so sweet. He said, "Nahi beta, daro mat, we will take you down. If you want to tell us where you live, we'll drop you to your houses." So then that gave us the courage with, the gentleman being really very kind. He was not a driver, he was one of the staff. It was his jeep that he was coming down, official jeep. So then the whole lot of us had to clamber into that jeep. He brought us down. And when we came down, we had my mother, my father, the neighbor's parents, all looking out for us. Where are these kids? Because we never told them where we were going. So they didn't know where to look for us. And of course, instead of being happy that we returned safely, we all got beatings of our lifetime. So that was my
Lovely story, Shaila.
story.
What is that? How do you want to set it? Which tone?
Yeah, so tone would be of
Serious,
adventure,
happy,
definitely.
funny,
No, it will be
humorous.
it will be more of an adventure story, that excitement. Initially, it will be of one of happiness because we are climbing up the hills and we go down to the beach and we play. Then there is, so the tone is a mixture of emotions.
Correct.
Yeah. So that will be
Yes.
my
Lovely
tone of
share,
my
Shaila.
story. Thank you.
Lovely. Okay, now we have Nina here, and now I request everybody to crisp and clear, and let us quickly share what you have written on the story maps.
Okay, the map, the W's. What is it about? It is about the human evolution. That is the first step towards civilization. And when it is the prehistoric time, of course, the title is Time Traveler. And where it happened, in the jungle, and where, okay, so the conflict was about the language. So the time traveler going back, and then the conflict of language between those prehistoric men and so the tone that I would like to set for the story is fun filled, mystery, fun, so that you get to meet how you travel back to time and what are so there is mystery, there is fun and adventure. And the solution is uh, time traveler, of course, can't be an alien, but can, of course, try to use Google and get the translation done.
Yes.
So that is how.
So you have to get some research done, some data. Correct? Correct. So without that, you won't be able to develop your plot.
Yeah.
So that is why, especially in historical fiction or, whenever you are, mapping a story in history, data is very important.
Yes.
Yes, Sophie, go ahead, please.
What is it about? It's a childhood challenge. Okay, what are the characters? My friend Rama and myself. And when did it take place? It is in 1982.
Okay.
And where did it happen? It is in my school, Avila Convent, Coimbatore. And why did it happen? The senior girl wanted the same place in the bus which I sat. So there was a fight, and she pinched me, and I was bleeding. So the tone is, it's all mixture of emotions. It was the first very great challenge that I faced.
Okay. Lovely. And you have started writing the story, or just the map that you have?
That's the map I've written.
done?
And it was solved by my mother when I got down from the bus. She initially.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you, Sophie, for sharing. Yes, Shivani, this is the last share that we'll be taking.
Okay. So I have mapped about a story. It's about what it is about. It is about a night in the most richest empire, that is Vijayanagar, where it is based. When it was done, it was
Interesting.
in 1500s. It is all about glorifying the glory of Vijayanagar. What is the place that what are the characters? The characters are people, and the monuments, the
Sister
temples.
Ravindra.
Um, the tone. The tone would be about, yeah, the tone is about all happy and glorifying the glory of Vijayanagar. And this is very fresh in my mind because I just came back from Hampi. So the title of the story would be The Night in a Hampi Bazaar.
Wow.
So this is, yeah. And it's
Maybe this
all
is your
about,
next book, Shivani.
yeah, it's all about the Vijay Vithal temple and the Hampi Bazaar.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So can you imagine some illustrations?
Yes, it's like the whole ground and lots of the diyas, the evening diyas, the buzzlings of the Hampi Bazaar outside, and the royals that are walking inside the temple, because that time only royals were allowed to go straight in the temple, others used to go from round. So yeah. So even the character, in my head is one of the
Correct.
royals, because that royal can walk inside the temple. So
Right.
yeah, so all that.
So your travel
Beautiful.
experience transported you back to times.
Yes. Definitely. And
Wonderful.
yeah, a lot of research and data
Lovely.
are required to put it in a story. But
Yes. Yes. So I would love to have your stories if you want to, just write down, do your research, write down your stories. I would love to help you out in developing your plot. And if you want, I can come up with an anthology of all the stories which were born here in this workshop. And I can publish them maybe online or maybe in paper copy. It's up to you. I'm just giving my these are the numbers and social media handles that we have. I'm the founder of Kathashtakam Global Storytellers Collective and Ended Kids, just to remind you again. And if you are able to complete this story, if you want to publish this story in any form, if you want to tell this story on any platform, we have it for you. You can just click the pictures, take the screenshot of this. There is a scan code. You'll get directly in touch with me if you scan that. And with this workshop comes to an end. I would love to know if you have any other things in your mind, your feedback, or anything that you want to know more.
Thank you, Vrushali. I think this was wonderful, taking us step by step into writing a story. Thank you so much for this workshop. And I think
Thank you.
it's going to give me now this thing of actually writing down more stories.
Yes. That was the whole point.
Yeah, good. I mean, I'm glad there's something that I did. I mean, and I think doing the exercise really cements it.
Yes.
So
I feel, there are so many stories in our mind, or, we have it in our, treasure cove, but still writing in that particular format, zeroing in on one single event in that particular way is the trick.
Absolutely.
For a great story.
Actually, I felt quite excited traveling back.
Yeah.
Thank you for this workshop.
Thank you.
For me, it was something magical because what came out for me was part fiction and part something from history, from family history. And it's something that you have started sitting with it, and I plan to do justice to what has begun and why is it speaking with me. So I'm very grateful, and I think sitting in a group and doing the activity, like Shaila said, that when you do an exercise, it cements it. I want to add to it that doing that exercise alone versus doing it as a community adds to it, and
Yes.
just the space, just the
Yes.
vibes. I
Yes.
think we all push each other and we encourage
Correct, correct.
to
Correct.
create something. So I'm very grateful to
Maybe
you,
this is a
Vishali.
just little push to start
Yes.
writing your story.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so much to learn, Eric. I'm very grateful every
Yes.
year after year, the consistency, the sharpness. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Thank you, Eric, and all the organizers of CSF for having me here. This is my first workshop, first ever workshop in CSF. I hope I gave justice to your expectations and more to look forward to. I can't wait to attend other sessions also. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.